Alright, and now the question of what happens after having done that.
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this.
We've been going with the
Even
glasses
most
basically as soon as we
exquisite
got them, yeah.
robes cover
I'm a big
only
fan.
Deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Alright, let's see. Well, what about the debate taste? Geralt is not really one to talk fashion. Or we could say, yeah, you know, we tend to be more inclined to wear things like armor, not fancy whatever you want to call this. Is this technically a suit? Sorta?
Rather not bicker about taste. Don't like to. It's neither interesting nor productive.
This particular Witcher has an inborn intolerance for formal occasions. Yet he's to attend just such an event shortly.
In fact, Geralt did just say it is quite literally the most uncomfortable thing that he could possibly imagine himself doing.
Rather pity him, for in truth, stage fright overwhelms him. He trembles at the thought that he has no notion how to behave in the presence of her Grace's Majesty.
As well he should.
I mean, we have spent a
All that
considerable amount of
is
time
its
with her,
way.
so you'd think
To
you'd get the hang of it
serve's
at some point.
highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls
The
for
way that
maudlin,
Geralt's shoulders
glistening
are.
triviality and misplaced generosity.
Just looks totally out of place. Let's see. Can sense that philosophical mood coming on? Perhaps?
Sound wistful. Pensive, Regis. That because they refused to buy you a new outfit?
Sorry, Regis.
Hardly. It's the tone I ever adopt when I find myself pondering, which, believe it or not, happens quite a lot. Besides, I've no need for a new outfit as I shall not be attending the ceremony.
Why not?
Because unlike you, I don't have to.
Oh,
I shall begin to
I
pack
suppose
my
so.
belongings instead. I trust you'll join me later, once you're richer by a medal and a fascinating new experience.
alright, no need to get
Count
bitter.
on it. Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Syanna planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a 5th victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Oh,
Plans
okay,
don't
yep.
matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Syanna's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
That may
Do you care
be...
not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea, but, I suppose we can ask a little bit more information about it. So, of course, Dettlaff was basically the hired killer that Syanna sent out, to take out, several notable victims, and we know that there probably was going to be another victim that just never became a victim, never actually got killed, because we sort of stopped them from... we stopped their whole operation, or at least slowed down their operation, started messing things up quickly enough that they weren't able to see that plan through. But that may still mean that they could find a way to make that final person, well, still take out that final person. So, yeah, how exactly do you think the Bootblack, who was sort of the messenger who delivered all those things, actually deliver said letters?
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
Okay, so it's very similar to what we did last time, but it does affect our final conversation a little bit. I'd say we might as well.
You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash.
Messenger?
for our
Is it me?
enterprising young friend.
Well, we may be
I
meeting
observed
your
that
Witcher
demonstrate
equivalent soon, Messenger.
Amidst their society as a whole, Reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
The letters, what's the connection?
When the boot black arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he knew more. Simply put, we'd failed to ask the proper questions when we chatted earlier. It took a bit more tongue loosening, but ultimately he spoke. He admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters. He knew this information was valuable to me. In providing it, he was simply repaying me.
Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, I think it's worth, at least based on last time, our original timeline when we did this, yes, this was also something that we were able to do, and it didn't take too long, so I suppose it's worth doing if it's just a little bit to get a little more out of the ending.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together, assuming we're done here.
I am done, yes.
What's up,
It lies
Nova?
in your
Thank you.
hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork at the ceremony with the dignity it is due. Or if you will first destroy it, crawling about the city's underbelly.
Promise to be careful.
Okay, so here is the boot black,
Oh, it's
the messenger in
swordsman.
question.
Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
All right,
Guess
if
they
you
could use a
insist.
spit and polish.
Never mind the fact that we
Then I
probably
should take
just got
advantage
these
as well.
boots from that tailor.
A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean souls. A fine slogan.
I guess. It's a little weird, to be honest with you. So, sure, how's business, kid?
How's business?
Well enough. I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
That's supposed to be a shot at us. We're getting our boots shine, thank you very much. But anyways, the reason why we're here is, of course, because the letters that you delivered, there might be a little more we can learn about that.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beckers brought them.
Okay. We did ask you about this before, so why didn't you tell us then?
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Alright, I suppose not. So, who were the beggars?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. One for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all.
Not talking about their boots.
Oh, I know. They all had no home.
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard.
Okay, so where'd the beggars get the letters from? Or remember what they looked like? I suppose we go for the location, then we can just go to that location, hopefully find them.
Where'd they get the letters? They picked them up? Get them from someone?
I don't
Some
know.
serious sass from him.
They'd
It's true.
come, hand me a letter, and walk away. I asked no questions.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that boot shine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Good old-fashioned bribery.
Well,
Way to
at
go,
the
Regis.
shelter most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Everyone knows, Geralt. If you don't know, then
Thanks, kid.
clearly you are a nobody.
For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around
Okay.
inside.
Oh, not remember that we could loot that. Pretty sure that was just the boot black's,
No boots could
supplies there. We could now theoretically actually use this level that we picked up previously, but we're not able to get because we weren't allowed to actually upgrade when we were in that fight with Deadloff. So I think we're just going to throw on another round of protective coating here. Oh, we actually do have a good equipped. I did not think we had it equipped. Right there, though. Okay. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of fighting from here on out, except, you know, we'll throw it on just in case.
Your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
Okay, I mean, what's the harm in them living here, though?
The
I
shelter.
don't see a problem.
Them living here bothers you. Question is why.
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
You're saying you're a decent person? I don't know. Aren't you the one that's messing with this shelter?
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
You got a problem with
We
that?
should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Is that so now? Alright. Let's beat him up. And ideally not get trapped in a corner here. Pretty sure we just punch them both simultaneously. Oh, please stop blocking me. It's not cool, bro. I mean, you are, like, trying to fight a Witcher, which is probably not the smartest of ideas. Will I try to also not get trapped in this corner? Okay, one down. Two down. Didn't even touch us.
All right.
Didn't want to get our fancy
can
shirt
take a
messed
hit.
up.
Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere were we to have somewhere to go.
We
But
actually could have
you've come with
theoretically
a
let them
problem.
beat us up. That would have been kind of funny, I
don't hate
suppose.
you.
Be interesting to see if anything comes of that. Sounds like maybe. But, I mean, like, at the same time, you know, if we're a foot taller, or a head taller than them, shoulders twice as broad, and most importantly, wearing clothes fancier than they have ever seen before, then we have to teach them a lesson. We just have to teach them a lesson. What exactly is this place, though? We heard that it's some kind of shelter?
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Just a good guy. Does it because he can.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the boot black in Rue de Garl.
The boot black. A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Alright, and we're talking every last beggar? We're gonna have to track other ones down elsewhere, or just stay here and we'll be good?
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Alright, sounds like we'll wait.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
Meanwhile, that bucket drops on our head.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romaine?
The lettuce? Anyone?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romaine. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romaine. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. Freshie, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
Alright, so that's 3.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
That's what we need to know then. We need that letter.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
She was a very frightening person.
Who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
By design. Alright, so we get this letter revealing the 5th victim. That person who has not yet become a victim, but would be the next target.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated SYANNA rather grossly.
Yeah, so, you know, she's trying to kill the
Judging by
Duchessa.
this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Okay, so does that complete said puzzle for you?
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter ceased to be a tantalizing brain teaser and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Yeah, so we should probably do something to stop that, right?
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. SYANNA planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to SYANNA, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was
Interesting.
known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
I suppose so.
Why would SYANNA murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask her yourself.
I suppose. And thanks for stopping by, JPET. Let's see, so yeah, I mean, we'd love to learn her motives. I'd say if we can get the chance to talk to SYANNA, we'd like to do that.
Actually, love to learn her motives.
Praiseworthy, I suppose. Sometimes one should stare evil in the face.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you calling
Seems a bit
SYANNA
strong,
praiseworthy? Because I would not
She
say
used my
that.
friend as her tool for killing. I believe I've every right to condemn her, but I support your lust for the truth. Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps SYANNA locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her.
Alright, you wanna come with us, Regis?
Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Dettlaff and his minions rampage. Besides,
I suppose fair
I
enough.
vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Syanna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Dettlaff cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
Alright, so now we have the option to talk to Syanna, the person who is behind this potential coup d'etat, and I think that is definitely something that we'll be looking to do here. And so let's just take a look at our map. Because, yeah, both of those things would be... Or, well, she would be more so right in the middle of the palace, whereas the conversation with Damien, which would be more so progressing the main plot line, would be here. But we definitely want to talk to Syanna first. So let's actually go to a fast travel spot first, I think. That'll get us to this spot here in Beauclair Palace. It'll be a much quicker journey in that case. In which case, we actually want to go this way, it would seem. If we can get up here. You know, we'll just run through all the mud and dirt and grass and fields and forests and what have you. In our fancy clothes. Alright, so here's the spot we're looking for. Use this to get here. And now, let's go track down Syanna. So now let's just actually put our custom marker on this as well. We might need another boot shiny after all this. You're not wrong. Let's see, we technically need to go down, it looks like. And through here? Yes. Okay, so in theory, she is being guarded by a set of guards that do not necessarily want us to get in, and so does mean we may need to be a little bit sneaky here. Let's see. That's a fire hazard, thank you very much. Speaking of guards, there is a guard right there. Can we maybe go around this way? No, that's locked. We can get past him if we go through here. Can. There's a little bit to loot here. We can grab some roast chicken and bread and brioche and grilled pork and fish and apples and a whole meal. Several course meal at that. That seems like everything here, and not really sure we need all that at this stage, to be honest with you. That's locked, so I think that means we don't really have any option but to waltz on past this guard here.
Halt!
Need to see Syanna, urgently.
In the matter of?
So, here's the thing. She, just kind of trying to assassinate the Duchess.
Need to interrogate her. New facts have come to light. Need them explained. Seems she was planning your Duchess's assassination.
Ah, fine then. You're that
Whatever.
witcher who solved
Not like that's
the
a big
murders,
deal
no?
anyway. I suppose. We'll let you through.
Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
Thanks for stopping by, Rumi. Alright, so we're looking to go up here then.
The Witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Hey, Syanna. Sorry to intrude, but I gotta ask you something.
I've nothing to say to you. You're the one who put me in here. Have you forgotten?
I mean, you kind of did it
but
to
you
yourself.
are here. So what's the harm in talking? Got something better to do?
What do you want? Be brief.
I'll take all the time I need. Thank you very much, Sianna. I mean, let's be honest. To be locked up in here is just not so bad as prison cells go.
This cell. Downright cozy. Second time you've been incarcerated in altogether pleasant conditions. Always seem to land on your feet.
I wouldn't say that. I get no privacy here. But it is clean, because I cleaned it.
They do say cleaning can be relaxing.
It isn't. It's a horrible, thankless task. But
I mean, you just said you appreciate this place because it's clean.
For instance, before I left Nazaire, I also tidied my room. Even made my bed.
Right, I don't see how this is relevant.
I'd never return. But I despise leaving unfinished business. Messes. Loose ends.
Okay.
Dogged determination. Guess that's admirable.
I was praised for it as a little girl. Only for that, in fact.
Alright, well, see, the thing is, we did run into a few beggars, and they did tell us about this little plan that you had. Something about, oh, I don't know, like murdering your sister?
Went to a place where Beauclair's beggars congregate. Found proof that you'd planned your sister's demise. Anna Henrietta. She was Dettloff's ultimate target from the start. Your target.
Bravo, Witcher. I congratulate you on your deductive reasoning skills. But what I'd planned has nothing to do with you.
Wrong. Has everything to do with me.
You were hired to kill the beast. Said beast is dead. So go collect your metal and leave me alone. Why must you meddle in everything?
Dettloff wasn't the beast, that's one way to put it. That is one way to put it. I mean, he may have been the one doing the killing, but he wasn't really the one behind all the killing, if you get what I'm saying, since that was all at SYANNA'S directive. Or we can just, you know, we like to understand what's going on. You know, maybe things are a little bit heated right now. So as much as I'd like to hit her with this, because that is a pretty serious burn there, I think we try to just tone it down a little bit.
Just like to know what's going on around me. Can't stand confusion, unexplained situations.
Have you come to ask me what drives me? What my motives are?
Don't care about your excuses? Well, nah. Let's hear it.
Actually came hoping to learn something. It's clear you were out for vengeance. Against those who drove you from the palace? Curse of the Black Sun. That was their reason, right?
Go off on her,
It's
just do it.
certainly what they claimed. They said I was dangerous. A mutant. Knights, Crespi, Dulac, Delacroix, and Peyrac Peyran. They got the task of whisking me away, abandoning me outside the duchy's borders.
They were following orders.
So they were, though they did so eagerly. Especially when I tried to flee. Crespi beat me unconscious with a whip. The others stood by and watched. Peyran found ample opportunity to take his frustrations out on me, while Dulac and Delacroix insulted me, mocked me. I swore then I would never forget. I would find them all.
And so those are the previous victims. And so, actually, I think a question that we should be asking ourselves here is, of course, so this component is very similar to what we experienced in our initial ending, our canon timeline. And so, in this situation, do we deliberately try to have everything go the way that it went last time, and just see if anything is different because we went in a different direction when we went to see the Unseen Elder? Or do we deliberately try to be, and that of course was a relatively peaceful conclusion there, or do we deliberately just try to be a little bit more confrontational this time and see what else can happen here, even if it may not necessarily be as, air quotes, good of a result? because I guess it's a question of, do we feel like we want to try to get as good of an ending as possible still, or do we feel like we just want to see as many different possible outcomes as possible, in which case, you know, I think things went relatively well for us our previous time round, and so if we're looking to mix things up this time, then that means that we, well, probably do need to be a little bit more of, well, I'd be needing to pick a little bit more of a fight here. I think at least for now, let's say that we understand.
Explains a bit. A lot. You had a right to feel rage, resentment, but those motives aren't enough to justify the means you chose.
I didn't expect you to understand. I need no sympathy. Not from you, not from anyone. I regret nothing. If I could turn back time, I'd not decide otherwise at any juncture. They all deserve to be punished. My sister most of all.
Enough. Your visit's done.
Ah, thank the stars.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Okay, so, and now this would be the thing that takes us to basically the final conversation of essentially the entire game. And so, I don't think there's anything that we need to do between now and then, after having talked to SYANNA. I think we should be able to go straight there.
Let's go. Want to see him too.
Right. Ending, kinda, sorta.
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Is that big scar across his face new?
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
I suppose that's fair. Alright, so, do we let Damien know who the 5th victim was going to be? I don't remember if we did this last time or not, but I think we do let him in on the information here.
Got some important information. Anna Henrietta was supposed to be Detloff and SYANNA'S 5th victim.
You are certain of this?
Completely. Found proof.
Inconceivable. How could she?
Inconceivable!
Murders, the mayhem she brought down on the city, were they not enough? She sought to strike down her own sister, her liege. Traitor. I must alert my men. Enlarge the Duchess's honor guard. Make certain Sylvia Anna is closely watched during the questioning. I'll see to it personally. I thank you, Witcher, for alerting me, and I appreciate your attentiveness.
So that may be the case.
Come with me.
But at the same time, even if there are more guards, that may just put SYANNA on edge. May not help.
In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart.
Oh, thanks.
For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, Slayer of the Beast of Beauclair, step forth.
One moment. Let me just brush off some of the dust here.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
I suppose.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory
Thank you very much.
experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Well, see, the thing is, we do kind of have bad news. Syanna does, in fact, want to kill you. So I think this is part of the component where, again, that question comes to mind of, do we want to make sure that we have the Duchess survive? Or if we don't tell her that Syanna is still looking to kill her, then, well, Syanna might be successful finding a way to still complete that plan. So... I imagine if we don't tell her here, then Syanna will be able to sneak up and well, stab her or something. So, I still think we probably should do it. I still think we should. Because I guess, mostly I want to see what changes to the ending just from having chosen to go with the Unseen Elder rather than with Syanna in the Land of a Thousand Fables. And so having a baseline of basically picking most, if not all, the same decisions and just seeing what else changes, that way we have sort of a controlled experiment. Whereas if we start to deviate a bit more, then we start to ask ourselves, well, is this because we chose a different dialogue option or did something else? Or is this because it was the difference between choosing going with Syanna versus choosing going with the Unseen Elder?
I am, and truly grateful, Your Grace. Sadly, I'm afraid I have to sour the mood. It's Syanna. She plotted to have you killed, Duchess. Planned to use Detloff. You were to be the beast's fifth victim.
This cannot be.
Surely not, right?
You're mistaken. You must be.
I have proof.
Damien knows. Are we just going to say we have proof and not actually show said proof?
I do not believe it. In a moment I shall speak to Syanna. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet what you tell me now I find devastating. I've come to doubt that I can judge her fairly. I'd far prefer to learn you're mistaken, Geralt.
I'm not. In fact, I'd recommend you be particularly careful around her.
You exaggerate, Witcher. She is my sister. I know well how to speak to her.
Do you though?
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
There she is.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
So I thought I remembered that when we had this conversation last time, when we saw this, I thought that Syanna had a knife behind her back like that. Her behind her back is currently empty. I don't know if she's gonna still pull one out and go, "Surprise! You're dead!" Or if that's, for whatever reason, no longer part of her plan. I'd say we're just free to do as we choose. We just happen to decide to stick around. That's all.
I'm not a prisoner. Free to do as I choose.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Nor does it let me believe you sought my demise. My heart yearns to know you were swayed by the monster Dettlaff. You yourself would never stoop so low. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me. As one impartial, I shall now hear what he has to say.
Ooh. Did we have this last time? I don't remember this, I don't think. I don't think this is the way this played out. So we can either say that Syanna should be punished like any criminal, which presumably means, either she's getting locked up or possibly killed for the crimes that she committed. Otherwise, out of the good of the duchy, that's what matters most. It's not super clear what that means, but I'm intrigued. I think we try going this route here and see where this takes us.
Your Grace, as head of state, you should look first and foremost after your dominion. Syanna's actions, what drove them, be damned. She's a threat to your subjects.
You are correct. They are what matters. I must not forget this. Syanna, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you.
Oh.
Will you forgive me?
Oh. Anna? Oh, look at that. That might be because we told them to bring the extra guards. Hold on. Hold on. She gonna try to pull a fast one on the Duchess?
I shall never forgive you.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Okay. Wow. That escalated quickly. Just a little different.